and we are back with another Arizona Cardinals franchise. We are 5-1, coming off a 27-21 win against the Commanders last week, here to face the 4-2 Las Vegas Raiders. So if you guys didn't watch the last episode, of course, it was the Trey Benson show as always, as we get Tyler Young's development revealed, as he only has star development. He's still been great for us regardless of his development. It's fine as long as it's at least star, you know. And then Brandon Porter is going to get his first start today, as Darius Robinson is still going to be the rush defensive tackle because Anthony Shipp broke his ribs and he's going to be out for the next 3 games, next 3 episodes, whatever you want to call it. So specialist-wise, this is what we got going on. Like everything that we got, may have to trade for a corner at the trade deadline next week, but we'll see how they play today against the Las Vegas Raiders. They are 5th in rushing yards, so they have a really good rushing team, and 2nd in defense in the league. Further overlook of the team, Dalton Chandler is their new QB here. Star development, 1-year experience, 84 overall right now. Not bad for the Raiders. Probably one of their best quarterbacks they've had in years. I know Derek Carr was solid, but Derek Carr was not going to win you a Super Bowl. Kenneth Gainwell here, star development, 27 years old. This is the guy that's giving them all the rushing yards. That's surprising. Him and Keaton Mitchell together as a pair. Devontae Adams still on the Raiders, 89 overall. Yeah, it's crazy. He's still on the Raiders, didn't get traded to the Jets, and now he's on the Rams in real life. He just got traded to 3 different places in a span of less than 1 year. That must be tragic. Jacoby Myers, Tutu Atwell as well. Brock Bowers, superstar X Factor, fully developed here in simulation. Colton Miller, Jackson Powers Johnson, Andre James, Justin Doherty here. It looks like Jack Doherty's dad or something made it to the NFL. And then Thayer, I don't know who this is, Munford. Either way, they actually have a pretty good offensive line. Christian Wilkins here as well. Cleveland Furrow back on the Raiders. Devontae Wyatt, John Bennett here, and then Max Crosby, 99 overall. James Polite here. That's very polite of him. 76 overall for Robert Spillane, 77 for that guy. And then McLean here is a 77. Honestly, Nate Hobbs, Jack Jones, Kyler Gordon, this is a pretty solid team. I can't lie. You got Isaiah Simmons, Marcus Epps. You still have Trayvon Merrick here instead of him going to the Panthers in real life. That's actually a pretty solid roster. It's nothing crazy other than Max Crosby, but I'm actually a little bit intimidated by the Raiders for the first time in my life, but we'll see. Let's look at the players ready to negotiate. $108 million to spend. Zaven Collins, absolutely. 3-year deal. Even though he is going to start regression next season, he's been great for us, and he wants a little bit more money, so I may have to deal with that. Michael Wilson, I just don't need him, really. I never see him on the field. I have Rondale Moore, Marvin Harrison, Jaden Reese. I have Akeem Whitlock. I have Trey McBride. I just don't need Michael Wilson. BJ Ojolari, he's honestly not a bad backup to have, but I am not going to pay him $10 million a year. He wants a mentor at his position. You have literally Chase Young. I don't see how that's not a mentor. I know he's not like the most veteran guy, but he's still an X factor. But BJ Ojolari, I'm not going to pay him $10 million a year to be a backup. I'm going to be real about that. May have to trade him for a corner or something. Rondale Moore, I low-key want back. He's really not that bad. He's a really nice gadget guy. I'll do 3 years, $8 million a year on this, and he re-signs with the team. That's a big signing for us long term. Cody Barton, he's pushing 30. He's going to drop below a 75 overall. He's been really nice for us, for the user and stuff like that, but I really think he's going to fall off a cliff in the next season. And then all these other guys, honestly, I don't really care if they walk. Brandon Scherf, I'm just going to have to replace. He's about to be 35. Stephon Gilmore's kind of taking a nosedive here in his overall, and he's 35. He's going to be 36. He's probably going to retire. I might just trade him, and then all these other extras, I just don't really want. Gary Rivers, I'm going to actually give a contract. He's not bad. He's not great. I'll just give him player friendly. 3-year deal for my fullback, $3 million a year. He resigns, and then of course for everyone else here, Darius Robinson, I'm not going to accept his option, but I will for Marvin Harrison. But anyways, apart from that, let's get this started, baby, as we are going to have the Arizona Cardinals uniforms changed just a little bit here. I mess with these heavy, the blacks, but with the white number and the white pants. I love those uniforms from the Cardinals. I hate their new minimalistic uniforms. They look super lame. Even my dogs don't like them. 1st and 10 here for Chandler and the Raiders. Going wide open over the middle is Devontae, and he just misses the throw. Cody Barton bragging about it, even though it was just a bad throw. 2nd and 10 here for the Raiders. What do we have? Probably Devontae Adams. No, he's going over the top, and another missed throw. Chandler is not cooking. Typical Raiders quarterback play. 3rd and 10, pass committing the team here. What do we have? Over the top. Why did you stop? What? I'm spamming Y, and he just stops. He hits the brakes, doesn't play the ball. What? I'm literally on his user here, and as I'm going up, notice how he just stops up here. You see him just hit the brakes on the back right there? I didn't do that. I was hitting Y to reach for the ball. It's right over his head. He could put his hands up and grab this to the outside right here. It's in front of his face. He can put his hands up, deflect it, do something, and he just hits the brakes and just misses. What? That's an awful, awful mechanic. 1st and 10 here to the outside, number 14, Kenneth Gainwell. We're going to be all over that. 2nd and 6. Second down and 6 here. What do we have? Probably over the top, and it will be a blitz. Nice, well, not a blitz. It will be a sack for Chase Young. Another one. He had one last week as well. That was a really weird animation. It just focused up on him for the play action, but Chase Young, great job. Pass committing the team on 3rd and 17. Probably going to go over the top here, and he is under pressure again. Great pressure there from Zaven Collins. He was trying to go to the check down. Couldn't get it off in time. 4th and 17, and that Chase Young sack will push them out of field goal range as we will have a great start from our defense. 1st and 10 here. What are we going to have over the middle? Is going to be wide open. That's going to be Marvin Harrison in the slot position. 1st and 10. 1st and 10. We got play action here. What are we going to have? Probably wide open over the side there is going to be Jaden Reese. 1st and 10. 1st and 10. We got a stretch play to the outside here. Trey Benson trying to bounce through that. I just bounced off my player. That's my fault. 2nd and 7 after coming off a great week last week. It doesn't also show his receiving touchdown that he had last week. 2nd down and 7. Is Gary Rivers there? No. Step up. Step up. Gary Rivers. Moss is the safety? What? No, Moss is Jack Jones. That's wild. He got his re-signing. He got his payday, and he starts balling, dude. That was crazy. 1st and 10. Back to Trey Benson here. Trey Benson, perfect lane there. Airport lane. Tries to bull rush there on Trayvon Merrick. 1st and 10. 1st and 10 here. What do we have? Probably going to go Akeem Whitlock. Not really there. Marcus Epps is on. I'm going to run it with Kyler Murray. Please don't fumble. Thank you. Not first and goal. I was going to say 2nd and 1. 2nd down and 1. What are we going to have? Step up in this pocket, please. I thought I was going to be able to get away from that. 3rd and 5. That was my fault. Cleveland Farrell actually getting a sack in his career. Very rare. 3rd down and 5. I did not mean to throw that, but hey, I'll take it. 1st and goal. 1st and goal. We got a halfback toss here, trying to get to the outside. Gary Rivers with a decent block. Trey Benson got the edge there as it is 2nd goal on the 4. 2nd and goal. I formation here, trying to follow Gary Rivers. It's going to be a walk-in touchdown for Trey Benson. Who else here? 7-0 start against the Raiders. 1st and 10 against the Raiders here. What are we going to have? Kenneth Gainwell just runs into Brandon Porter there as he's probably going to get his first tackle of his career. I never really see him on the field, but that was a good job. Tackle for a loss for him. 2nd and 11 here. What are we going to have? It's going to be play action that I bid on, and he's going to go to the flat. Thought he was for sure going to go to Brock Bowers there. 3rd and 3. 3rd down and 3. They will be passing the ball here. Going to be looking for Devontae Adams, and thrown right at his feet is Brock Bowers. Should have been a 1st and 10, but another bad throw from Chandler. 4th and 3. They will be punting. 3 and out. Rough start for the Raiders. 1st and 10 here. We got 4 verticals going on the slant there that I audibled is Marvin Harrison. Just completely missed throw there from Kyler Murray. 2nd and 10 here. We got a screen going. Let's dump it off to Trey Benson. I wish you'd, move up the field, Trey Benson, instead of getting stuck on a defensive lineman. 3rd and 20. 3rd and 20 after the horrible screen play. Can Jaden Reese fit in that pocket? Jaden Reese, oh my gosh. How was that not pass interference? You just took his head off. This has to be attempted murder, dude. The ball's not even there yet. He doesn't even touch it. And, I mean, sure, he touches it here. This has to be pass interference. He's literally he's covering his eyes. He's covering his eyes. His elbow is hitting his head. Yeah, he's dunking his head. And then they just clothesline him. Look at Jack Jones. The play is already over. The ball is already swatted. Jack Jones just murders this man. He glitches through him, and then he shoves him to the ground. How is this not pass interference? Isaiah Simmons is shoulder to shoulder with him, pushing him in the arms, and then pushes him out of the way, shoves him to the ground. Jack Jones lifts him back up and shoves him into the ground. Most normal Raiders play, dude. Oh my gosh, how is that not pass interference? 1st and 10 here. We're going to be sending a blitz. I need to back up there. Why did you not jump that, Stephon Gilmore? You were standing right in front, right behind Devontae Adams, and he just made no reaction to the ball. 1st and 10. 1st and 10. Pass coming to the team because it's an empty backfield. Covering Devontae Adams. Why is Cody Barton not in that zone? I'm in my zone. Go cover your zone, dude. 1st and 10. That will be the end of the first quarter. 1st and 10 for the Raiders once again. They're going to be running the bench play as to the outside is Brock Bowers. Nice finishing tackle there by Dexter Weldon. Meredith once again fails to finish the job. 2nd and 4. 2nd down and 4. What are we going to have here? Probably over the middle. He's going to have the speed on me. Still goes to the other check down instead as that's going to be another 1st and 10 for Keaton Mitchell. Buda Baker with the tackle. 1st and 10. Gary Weber and Mac Wilson are on the field. This is a recipe for disaster. We all know it. Whenever Gary Weber and Mac Wilson are on the field, bad stuff happens, and it's a 1st and goal for the Raiders. Thankfully, we have Cody Barton and Kenny Sears back here on 1st and goal. 1st and goal here for the Raiders, trying to move to the outside. Kenneth Gainwell just moves through traffic. They get perfect blocks, and they're going to tie it up 7-7 Kenneth Gainwell. First and 10 here, we got Trey Benson. They were trying to send a blitz. I couldn't move through traffic in time. 2nd and 8. Trey Benson's actually been getting shut down pretty hard today. 2nd down and 8. Weird play action that we got going here. Trey Benson's wide open. Please move upfield. Don't step out of bounds. He had so much space. 3rd and 7. 3rd down and 7. Going to be looking for Jaden Reese. I don't have him. Trying to move up the pocket. I had Trey Benson on the streak. I had him on the streak. He 100% had that. 4th and 7. Completely my fault there. I should have lobbed it to him, as it will be a 3 and out, and the Raiders will get the ball once again. 2nd down and 8. What are we going to have here? Probably the streak is open, but they take the check down again, as it's going to be a 3rd and 2. 3rd down and 2. What are we going to have? Kenneth Gainwell met in the backfield by who? Guess who? Brandon Porter. He's doing so much more than Anthony Shipp. 2 tackles for a loss on the day. I haven't seen 2 tackles for a loss in one game by Anthony Shipp, and Anthony Shipp is an X factor. Brandon Porter, 99 strength. He's balling. Even Buster Cherry's hyped for him, dude, as that's a 3 and out. 4th and 5 for the Raiders. 1st and 10, we got play action here. Rolling to the outside. We got Jaden Reese wide open off the edge there. Jaden Reese, big 1st and 10. 1st and 10 here. We got that wheel route with Trey Benson. I should have it as the corner blitz comes in. He was open too. He was open. 2nd and 21, Max Crosby with the sack. 2nd and 21, maybe Akeem Whitlock. I'm not going to have that. I'm going to take the underneath. Gary Rivers. Wasn't really a good read there. 3rd and 17. People are going to call me crazy for this. It's like, oh, go for the 1st down. It's 3rd and 17. I'm almost in field goal range with Jake Bates. I'm going to run it with Trey Benson instead, trying to get a huge gain here. Trey Benson up the field, so close, driving down. 4th and 2. The AI wants me to go for it, and I'm not going to do it. I know it's like, oh, you're just being a scaredy cat. I don't really care. I only ran the ball to be conservative. I'm going to stay conservative. There's no reason to try and go for it on 4th and 2 when I can just take the lead right here. So I'm going to do that. Jake Bates puts it up, puts it through. 10-7 lead. 1st and 10, sending a blitz here. Kenneth Gainwell gets a great lane, but number 4 there, Donald Roberts there for the tackle. 2nd and 6, that will be the 2-minute warning. Actually, no, it won't be the 2-minute warning. We had an injury timeout for someone. I don't know who it was. Either way, 2nd and 6, going to pass commit the team here because there is an empty backfield. Got Devontae Adams wide open, number 27. Great break up there. Donald Roberts really putting in work. His rookie year, he honestly started off rough, but ever since he got that X Factor, he's been great. As Zaven Collins' strained tricep will not be able to return. That's actually a big loss. BJ Ojulari is going to substitute. He's not bad, but at the same time, don't really need BJ Ojulari. 3rd down and 6. What are we going to have? Probably over the top here, over the middle, something, and it's going to be over the middle. He had way too much time. Buda Baker with the tackle. 1st and 10. 1st and 10, pass committing the team. I just think they're going to keep passing it because it's the 2-minute warning. They got a flag there. It's probably going to be holding, and it will be roughing the passer. Of course, it's not in my favor. It's not going to be holding. Roughing the passer from Darius Robinson, as that's going to be another 15 yards for the Raiders. 1st and 10, pass committing the team. Again, that's wide open is Brock Bowers. I'm going to try and save that 1st down. 2nd and 1. 2nd down and 1. What are we going to have here? Probably Brock Bowers, Kenneth Gainwell. Too many options there. Almost had him. Nice coverage there by Stephon Gilmore, but nice way to hold on to the ball there from Jacoby Myers. 1st and 10, pass committing the team again. They have way too many options over the middle. It's going to be Kenneth Gainwell to the outside. 2nd and 2. 2nd down and 2. What are they going to have? Probably Brock Bowers, if I assume. Stephon Gilmore with the interception. His feet are inbounds. They're going to take it. It didn't look like they were inbounds. Is going to be a booth review? No, it's not. Just as I was starting to talk crap about Stephon Gilmore not pulling his weight and he needs to be traded, he gets a great pick there in the red zone, and I kind of want to get 3 before half. We'll try. 1st and 10 here. Let's see what we're going to have. Probably going to be looking for Jaden Reese on the outside as my first read. No, they're going to be sitting on that the entire way. I don't know why Trey Benson didn't come back under that route, but 30 seconds left. 2nd and 7, going to be looking for Jaden Reese again. I think he might have him. Jaden Reese over the top, and it's going to be picked. I should have thrown a lob. I threw a bullet. Wow. Opportunity completely missed by me. That was, again, just another bad throw by me. I'll admit when I'm wrong. I've had 3 bad interceptions in a row. Not today, but in my last video, I had 2 bad interceptions. I'll admit when I'm wrong. That was a pretty bad throw. Well, pretty bad read by me, not a pretty bad throw. You guys know what I mean. 1st and 10 for the Raiders here, though. Let's see what they have. Probably going to go to Brock Bowers, as I always assume, and they have way too much time. What was that? Nobody covering over the middle there. 1st and 10, 16 seconds left. 1st and 10, pass committing the team again. What are we going to have? Too much is going on. Got this over the middle to the outside. Another bad throw there by Chandler. Right read, though. 2nd and 10. Again, down and 10. What are we going to have here? Got the Brock Bowers. He has too many options there. Again, it seems like they're just constantly running the same play. They're going to take their 3rd and final timeout, and they're just going to take their field goal. It is up on the way, and it is through. They're going to be able to tie it at half because my mistake. You know, just typical move by me to do that. I should should just be running the ball with Trey Benson. We win games whenever I run the ball. 1st and 10 here. We got Trey Benson once again. Trey Benson weaving through traffic there. Another 1st and 10. That was only my 7th rush with Trey Benson. Yeah, I need to give him the ball way more. And he's already in the zone after his 7th rushing attempt. Yeah, we're just going to eat with him the rest of the game. Trey Benson on the stretch play, trying to get the outside here, trying to get the stiff arm, and Robert Spillane says, no way, Jose. 2nd and 10. Did he lose his ability there? He did. Robert Spillane with a big play. 2nd and 10 here. We got a pulling guard. Great block by that pulling guard. Trey Benson leaves it to a 3rd and 5. 3rd down and 5. I'm going to have Gary Rivers, the fullback, over the middle. He's actually been balling today on the receptions and stuff like that. He had a rushing touchdown last week too. 1st and 10. 1st and 10 here. We got Trey Benson again. Trey Benson trying to get a stiff arm. Robert Spillane says, no way, Jose, once again. 2nd and 1. 2nd and 1. We got Trey Benson here. Trey Benson trying to work his way to the outside, and that's going to be a great shed from the defensive end. 3rd and inches. 3rd and inches. Of course, I'm going to give it to the man himself, Trey Benson. Robert Spillane again making another play. He is unstoppable. 4th and 1. I'm not going to get greedy here. I'm going to take my field goal. Robert Spillane is a huge problem right now for us, but Jake Bates is going to take his 3. It's going to be up right down the middle, 13-10 against the Raiders. 1st and 10, we got Gary Weber on the field here. Devontae Adams on the China route. Wow, the change of direction on Gary Weber is awful. I know he's a superstar development, but he does not feel like it. 1st and 10 here for the Raiders. What are they going to have? The China route again. It seems like the same play, but reverse there. As Chandler's going to try and take off. Buda Baker makes him slide. 2nd and 6. As down is that Brandon Porter? What? Dude, I only have Nichols and... Who is that? Nichols and Darius Robinson left. That is tragic. Very, very tragic, as once again, another check down. This is just a check down merchant. 1st and 10. 1st and 10 here. What are we going to have? We got Kenneth Gainwell wide open up the middle. Airport lane there. He gets blown up, but it gets another 1st and 10 for the Raiders. Foot sprain, so he's not out completely. Darius Robinson's going to take over, of course, but he's already in the game too. So Nichols is actually going to take over, I think. And why did my camera just change? 2nd down and 8. We're going to have a Kenneth Gainwell run again, as it looks like Kenny Sears kind of missed the tackle. I finished it off there. 3rd and 3. 3rd down and 3. What are we going to have? Probably underneath, over the top. He has to pick an option, and there's too many things for me to cover. 1st and 10 again. 1st and 10 for the Raiders. We got Brock Bowers right over the middle, and that will be another user pick from Cody Barton. Hurdles Brock Bowers, kind of puts me in a bad spot down to the 3, but that will be another user pick back-to-back weeks from Cody Barton there. That's my 3rd one in a row, really, as our defense is doing really well today. Just as I start to talk crap about something, they immediately change it, so good stuff, defense. 1st and 10, let's try and get out of this rut in the red zone here. Well, not in the red zone, but back near our own red zone. Down to the 10 here for Trey Benson. 2nd down and 3. What are we going to have? Trying to move to the outside. X is going to be wide open. What? Dude, throw a touch pass when I ask you to throw a touch pass. Don't just, oh my gosh, don't throw a bullet. I was trying to throw a touch pass right over Akeem's head, but of course, he picks it. I want to take blame for that one, but it's like I was trying to throw a touch pass. I was aware that he was there. That sucks. 1st and goal, as the Raiders could easily score here. It's going to be play action. Probably going to go to the flat. There's going to be a holding call, hopefully. Devontae Adams pending touchdown right now. Zooming in on Colton Miller here, as it looks like, what is that, illegal man downfield for the Raiders. I will definitely accept that. 1st and goal here. What do we have? Kenneth Gainwell once again. Defense coming up big. Honestly, my offensive play has not been good both weeks. I mean, I scored 27 points last week against the Commanders, but this week I'm really not doing that well. 2nd and goal here. What do we have? Kenneth Gainwell again trying to weave through traffic, and he does. 3rd and goal, down to the 3. 3rd and goal. Gary Weber's in the game, unfortunately. What are we going to have? He just throws it out of the back of the end zone. He definitely had a lane to run there. 4th and goal. They're just going to take their 3. I'm going to do a safe man. It is up on the way. Chip shot is good. 13-13. I just need to run the ball, dude. That's just all I need to do to win the game. 1st and 10 here. We got play action. I know I said I need to run the ball, but that's going to be open there for Jaden Reese. Another bomb, a play for him. 1st and 10. 1st and 10, going to hand this off to Trey Benson. Nobody peeled up to get Robert Spillane. Again, he's still a huge problem. 2nd and 9, as that will be the end of the 3rd quarter. Somebody needs to get Robert Spillane so I can get Trey Benson going. 2nd and 9, please block Robert Spillane. Tyler Young does, but he still peels off. 3rd and 6. 3rd down and 6. What are we going to have? That should be open underneath. That's going to be Trey McBride. I think that's his first reception of the day. 1st and 10. 1st and 10. Going to be looking for Jaden Reese on this out route. I could have him step up on the ball. Oh my gosh. That was on me. That was on me again. I expected to switch on and step up. I'm playing like an idiot. I'm just playing like a moron. I know I'm gonna get hate. I don't care. At least I'll accept it. At least I'll at least I'll not yell at the screen and be like, oh, it's completely the AI's fault. I can take the blame whenever I know it's completely my fault. Oh my God, I'm playing like such crap today. 1st and 10 for the Raiders. What do they have? Open over the middle is Devontae and another awful throw from Chandler. 2nd and 10 here. What do we have? Kenneth Gainwell trying to make something happen. He doesn't know where he's going. BJ Ojulari with the tackle for a loss. The defense is performing well even without Zaven Collins and Brandon Porter right now, so I'll take it when I can get it, dude. I'm really glad the defense is doing well, especially with the losses due to the injury, and that's a step out of bounds there. Oh my gosh, was that just a Hail Hitler salute from Dexter Weldon? What happened? Should have been a first down, but look at Dexter Weldon. I swear he just saluted to Hitler here. Look at this. Look at this. As soon as he steps out of bounds, bad stuff. Oh my, okay, he was pointing. From this angle, look at that. That looks like a salute. Does that not? Definitely does. Thankfully, because my defense is balling this week, which is very rare, we get another chance here for Trey Benson just to run the ball. 2nd and 7. 2nd and 7. Trey Benson to the outside. Trey Benson. Decent blocks there. I wish Young would get in front of me, but still. 3rd and 3. It's 3rd and 3, but I'm still going to be running the ball. Oh, Robert Spillane isn't on the field. Hell yeah. That's my favorite part, dude. 3rd down and 3. Still doesn't matter as we get stuffed. 4th and 3. I'm going for this. I don't care if I'm in my own territory. I've been conservative the entire game, and I'm sick and tired of getting these stupid 3rd downs because I can't run the ball. I just can't run the ball today. Gonna try and peel to the outside. That should be open. Marvin Harrison, make the good throw. Perfect throw. That's gonna be Jaden Reese down the field, not Marvin Harrison. 1st and 10. Jaden Reese, 4 catches, 102 yards on the day. He has been balling, and now I can just run shoe clock and just take my chip shot field goal if I can just get it done with Trey Benson. Hopefully he doesn't fumble. Hopefully I didn't just jinx myself there. 2nd and 6, right back to Benson. Robert Spillane's back on the field. He gets pancake there. Good stuff from number 71. 3rd down and 1. That should be wide open. That's going to be a touchdown for Rondale Moore. I love him on that route on the mesh play. He is amazing. That's going to be a 20-13 lead over the Raiders. I know I could have just ran out the clock and chip shotted it. Maybe just give all Trey Benson the work, but wanted to take that open shot when I could. 20-13 against the Raiders. 1st and 10 here, sending a blitz. Kenneth Gainwell in the backfield is Cody Barton bowling over the offensive lineman. 2nd and 13. 2nd down and 13. What do we have? Kenneth Gainwell run again. They're just being pretty conservative here with 3 minutes left in the game. 3rd and 6. 3rd down and 6. What are we going to have here? Probably Kenneth Gainwell on the check down. Hits the offensive lineman in the back of the head. 4th and 6. And they will punt? Okay, I guess they believe they can get a 3 and out with their 3 timeouts, but I think that's a poor call from the Raiders. 1st and 10, of course, I'm just going to spam run the ball with Trey Benson. Amazing blocks. He's going to break away, and I'm just going to take another freebie touchdown, another stat pad, and that will be a 2-score game, and that will be the game. Huge run. That's going to be the dagger in it. Trey Benson, of course, is going to do it. 27-13. Offense wasn't getting going because of me for a while. Muscle cramps for D. Bacon. Oh, David Bacon? I forgot about this guy. Let's substitute him, sure. 1st and 10 here. We got Brock Bowers in coverage, and that's going to be Devontae Adams with a great read there with great catch in general. 1st and 10, almost winding down to the 2-minute warning here. 1st and 10 here once again. What do we have? Probably, I keep looking at Brock Bowers because he's been balling all day. That should be the 2-minute warning, and it is going to be the 2-minute warning. So let's see what the Raiders can try and cook up. I mean, they're probably going to get a garbage time touchdown, but I do think this game is over. 2nd and 2, sending a blitz here for the Raiders. Immediately going to take the short option there. 1st and 10 there. Nice tackle there from Budda Baker. 1st and 10, pass committing the team again up the field. Oh my gosh, I thought I was going to have it. That was a really high point pass. That was actually a really good pass there from Chandler. 1st and 10. 1st and 10, another pass commit. They just have to throw the ball here. I got this underneath, and they will just go to Kenneth Gainwell, take out his legs. Nice stuff, Watson. 2nd and 2. 2nd and 2, pass committing the team once again. I got to cover Brock Bowers, as always, take out his legs. What? He just teleported through his legs. That's so stupid. 1st and goal. 1st and goal here. What do we have? Again, I'm just going to always be on Brock Bowers. Triple coverage. What an awful read from Chandler there. I meant to fall down on inside the red zone, well, inside the touchdown zone, but he falls down at the 1. Not a very good option there, but Kenny Sears and Cody Barton back-to-back weeks, both of them getting a user lurk. So W, that will be the game. Let's see if we can get out of the safety zone, though, for us. Trey Benson's going to make it happen. 2nd down and 6. 22 rushes, 171 rushing yards on the day, mainly because he had a big 80-yard long rushing attempt. 2nd and 6 here for Trey Benson, trying to finish out this game. Trey Benson with another big run for him as he's going to make it to 186 yards on the day. I'm just going to take my knees. That's going to be the game. And obviously, the offense started out a bit slow. Defense, amazing performance today. Offense started out a bit slow because of me, but who would have thought if you give the ball to Trey Benson, we're going to be a successful team. We just got to give the ball to our best guys, and that's how we win games. Just absolute bonehead moves by me multiple times. I'm not going to take blame for the 3rd interception because I was trying to throw throw a touch pass. I was aware of that the linebacker was there. That was just bad. That was just overall bad. 5 interceptions in 2 weeks by me, just L. Big L. 74 was his longest rush for Trey Benson, 40 yards after contact, 2 broken tackles, 2 touchdowns, 8 yard per carry because that one huge run. But he really wasn't getting going in the first half. It took him until the second half. Kenneth Gainwell, 2.8 per carry. He got tackled for a loss quite a lot. Sometimes he had some big runs, though. And then Cardinals, Jaden Reese here with 4 receptions, 102 yards. Trey Benson, 3 receptions, -6 yards because that screenplay. Gary Rivers, 3 receptions, 31 yards. Gary Rivers outperforming Marvin Harrison in receptions is wild. 1 sack allowed from Joel Bitonio. Tackles 9 for Budda Baker. Tackles for loss 2 for Brandon Porter. He was getting going really nicely in the beginning, but obviously he got injured. BJ Ojulari with the fill-in. Chase Young with the sack. 1 interception for Stephon Gilmore, Cody Barton, Kenny Sears. Great job by the defense again. Back-to-back weeks, they're doing amazing. Trey Benson with an upgrade. I'm just going to go into power back here because I want him to get the freight train ability. He's going to get break tackle, stiff arm, and trucking. Here we are in week 8, here to face the 2-5 San Francisco 49ers. We are at 6-1. Let me know down in the comments below, guys. Do you guys want me to trade Stephon Gilmore? I'm going to trade BJ Ojulari. He wants $10 million a year to be a backup guy. I'm not going to pay him that much. But do you want me to trade Stephon Gilmore? He just had an interception. He really hasn't been bad the past 2 weeks. I'm not going to use him in the future for sure after this season, but I kind of want to trade for a different DB. Might even blow a first-round pick to get it. But Stephon Gilmore really didn't do bad these past 2 weeks. I don't want to be rude to him. He was really good for us last season too. Trey Benson, 186 rushing yards, 2 rushing touchdowns, -6 receiving yards, but still gets the NFC Player of the Week. But anyways, guys, apart from that, I thank you guys all for watching. Let me know down in the comments below who you want me to trade for. And apart from that, guys, I'll see you guys all in the next one.